VG70 variable. On paper, this gun sounds like a good idea. In practice, not so much. It has 3 firing modes. Auto, which does 85 damage. Volley, which fires 7 rounds at once for a total of 595 damage. And Total, which fires all remaining rounds. And if you have the gun fully loaded, it does a total of 4,165 damage. Volley is pretty solid on medium enemy weak spots. And Total is good for heavy weak spots like Charger Butts and Hulk Vents. It actually performs decently on the Illuminate front. Volley can 2-shot Overseers, and Total Mode 2-shots Flesh Mobs and 1-shots Harvester Eyes. Despite that, it's not worth using. Even with a supply pad, you'll burn through ammo like crazy. You could use it for fodder and medium enemies, if you got the ammo to spare. Overall, this gun feels more like a gimmick. It has its place as a fodder weapon, but so do a lot of others. The Plas-45 Epoch. I was kinda hyped for this, and surprisingly I was only half let down. The Epoch does pretty well against heavy enemies, especially Harvesters. It can one-shot their shield and one-shot them if you hit them in the face. Against super heavies though, not so much. Sometimes you can 2-shot Bio Titans, but that's rare. The real issue is the extreme spread, something the devs have acknowledged. On top of that, the range is pretty bad, so you have to get in close for it to be effective. Because of the spread in range, it almost feels not worth using. But since it can handle heavies, and occasionally super heavies, it's almost worth dealing with those flaws. Once they fix the spread, I'll probably be more inclined to use it. The Warp Pack. When I first saw this in the trailer, my first thought was, yes, solo players can finally get into bunkers. It works about 75% of the time. That said, it's fun to use as another way to dodge. Great for getting behind enemies and hitting weak spots. But if you use it a second time before it cools down, it damages you with a high chance of crippling a limb. A third use will just kill you. I get the reasoning, it's a balancing thing, but it's more of a nuisance than anything. Maybe instead of damaging us or killing us, they could just apply a long cooldown. You can also use it to phase through walls you can't get around. Another trick I forgot to point out is that if you use the Warp Pack before you hit the ground from a long fall before you ragdoll, you can actually take 0 damage, but you have to time it just right. The Laser Sentry. As a solo player, it can get kinda lonely on the battlefield. Sure, I got mods where anime girls yap in my ear, but I need company that can actually fight. That's why I'll occasionally bring a Sentry. With heavy penetration and the ability to ignite enemies, this one does well against heavies. The downside, if you have a huge wave of enemies, the Sentry will overheat and self-destruct before its lifetime duration. One flaw that the Laser Sentry has that I forgot to mention was that for some reason, it likes to attack bot dropships, sometimes prioritizing them over everything else, which is a huge flaw in its AI. It does its job well, but I still prefer the Machine Gun Sentry overall. The Arc Grenade. First thing to note, it can't be used to destroy bug holes or fabricators, -1 point already. It shoots out lightning arcs 5 times, bouncing each time. Since it's an arc weapon, it can hurt you and your teammates. It's ideal for groups of enemies, and it can stun and damage heavies. But the bouncing can be unpredictable. Sometimes it bounces right out of the enemy group. The Armor. Another item that sounds cool but is quickly overshadowed by more useful armors. When your health hits 0 and you're not torn apart, your health is restored to max. But then it starts draining your health like the bleed effect. Your screen goes black and white and the audio gets muffled. Although you can stop the bleeding temporarily with stems. The best use of the second life is to arm a hell bomb, like I've done, or to call in a stratagem on yourself to take some enemies down with you. Don't get me wrong, it's fun, but that's all it is. You could just try not dying, or go with the medkit armor. It's fun, but overshadowed. This Warbond was a mixed bag. Some decent stuff, some fun stuff, some things that will probably be forgotten. The only thing that felt truly worth grabbing was the Warp Pack for bunker access while farming super credits. The armor and Laser Sentry were fun, everything else just wasn't worth the medals. But that's all I've got. Let me know your thoughts on this Warbond in the comments, leave a like, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you whenever. Bye bye.